Hey everyone, this is Ishan from the All Things AI podcast. And typically I do interviews with professionals in AI, but this time around, I want to make a little update on AI news and specifically on NVIDIA's 2024 AI event. If you've been a follower of the podcast for a couple of months, you probably know that whenever something big comes around, I sometimes do make news updates on it. Like, for example, like the New York Times OpenAI fallout that happened a few months ago. I made a news update on that because obviously it was a turning point in AI and AI governance and copyright issues. But now this one is a bit more into the technicalities of artificial intelligence and really into one specific company called NVIDIA, which if you're into AI or anything techy, you probably have heard of. So specifically, if you're into video games or building PCs, you probably know about NVIDIA's graphics cards. And if you've built a PC, then you probably know about their RTX cards, like their RTX 3060 and RTX 3080 or RTX 4000 series now. So NVIDIA does many things. And one of the things that they do is make GPUs for things like your PC. But the way that NVIDIA has actually been growing really fast as a company in the past is because of AI. So these same GPUs that they make can be a whole lot more powerful and also a whole lot more expensive at the same time. And that's exactly what NVIDIA did, because you can make much more powerful GPUs and actually use them to train artificial intelligence models. And basically, these much more powerful GPUs that can train AI models are just called AI chips. So what exactly is NVIDIA's AI chip? And I think in this little informational update, that's a key idea. It's likely the most powerful technology that there is out there, and it's powering the entire AI boom. So these chips can be used to train large language models that process millions of data samples. Things like ChatGPT, for example, are directly powered by NVIDIA's AI chips. And this process needs a lot of power, obviously, if you want to deploy huge models that take into account like millions and even billions of words, really, with articles and things like that being part of the training sets. And that's really what you need AI chips for. And so this is important. And if you want to take away one thing from this video, let it be this. Essentially, an AI chip is a computer chip that specifically is made for AI training and deployment. And the reason it's made is because normal computer chips can't handle the workload that training AI models requires. And that's exactly what companies are doing now. They're taking these AI chips like NVIDIA's, and for example, OpenAI has a $1.2 billion supercomputer. Basically, what you can do is you can take many of these AI chips and build a huge computer with it that has a lot of power. So when you train AI models, they need a lot of power specifically because there's many calculations that happen in the back end of neural networks. And neural networks are the foundations of AI models. So the more powerful your neural network is going to be, the more power you're going to need, obviously, because you have more computations to do. And that's exactly why we need powerful AI chips. So these chips can easily outperform or easily perform computational processes in training AI models, and they're really similar to GPUs, as I mentioned earlier. It's just that they're specifically for AI development. So now we can talk specifically about the event itself. So the two specific chips that came out of this event that I think are really important to talk about are NVIDIA Blackwell and then NVLink Switch. So NVIDIA Blackwell is an AI chip that's 25% less costly and also has lower energy consumption compared to its predecessors, according to NVIDIA itself. And it was revealed that it has a trillion different parameters. What that basically means is that it's just a very powerful AI chip. And it's allows organizations like even big tech companies like Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI to train and deploy new large language models in generative AI technology, like Google's Gemini, or even IBM's Watson X, or even ChatGPT, of all the matter. So there's a few drawbacks I think that are important to mention, but these aren't really huge drawbacks. The thing is, each of these chips can cost $30,000 to $40,000, and so that's a very expensive price tag. So if you're someone that's independently researching AI, like myself, for example, and trying to train AI models, you probably don't need a super chip that can compute really fast, because using a regular laptop is probably enough power. But for these big tech companies, they're trying to make massive strides in AI, and with those strides comes the need for computing power, and that's exactly what NVIDIA's Blackwell can actually meet. It's very powerful and revolutionizing at the same time. And so the NVLink chip, as the name itself suggests, helps these different GPUs communicate with each other. So there was a communication barrier that previously existed between these different GPUs that you might be using in your supercomputer. So with chips like NVLink, which again can be very expensive, this can have every single GPU that exists communicate at the same time. And that's something that companies that have made AI models, like big tech companies, have been wanting for years. And finally, it's here with this new AI event. And something else that was important that was also mentioned is there's many companies that are using NVIDIA chips. And I think when we consider the companies that are using NVIDIA chips, this is really impactful because it has a major significance. And I'll explain that more later in this video. But many of the companies that are using NVIDIA chips include Google, Amazon, Oracle, and Microsoft, and even OpenAI. These are some of the most influential tech companies that are out there. And it's really great that NVIDIA is making such strides in the AI industry because it means that while China and other countries around the world are doing their own thing in trying to make really powerful AI chips, the United States thankfully has NVIDIA that's helping them out with this AI revolution. And so, what exactly is the impact of all of this? What does it mean that all of these companies are using this technology? Well, the first implication is that there's going to be more powerful AI technology because these chips make training processes easier. So think about it. If you had a basic computer that could train, for example, 1,000 samples, but let's say you have this AI chip which can train a million different samples in light speed. Obviously, you want the second option, and if you're a big tech company, you have the money for that. And so that's exactly how this more powerful AI technology is made. And so going on into the future, you're going to see more powerful AI technology because these chips make the entire computing process far easier. The second takeaway that you should probably have from this is that NVIDIA is now going to emerge as one of the biggest tech companies in the world. So in previous times, NVIDIA was still a very large company, don't get me wrong, but the growth that it's seen in 2023 is of immense level. Now, I mean really big, because in 2023 alone, their stock price saw a 240% surge, specifically due to the confidence that many investors had in NVIDIA's AI chips. And seeing that they're continuing to bring out new developments in these AI chips, it's clear that the confidence that these consumers have had is really manifesting itself. And now NVIDIA has a $2.3 trillion market cap. So that's just slightly behind Apple and behind Microsoft, but it's really crazy to think that just in the span of a year, this one company was able to overtake many big tech companies and really broke into that barrier. What this really means is that it's going to be one of the most powerful tech companies in the world. And specifically, one thing that's unique about NVIDIA is that it makes these AI chips. So all of these big tech companies, which are trying to make their own AI, really need NVIDIA to help them out by giving them chips. And so NVIDIA is really making these other companies reliant on them. And that's the entire business model that they have working. It's that it's going to be a very profitable company, ultimately for investors in the stock market also, even though this is a bit off topic, it means that they're going to see huge record-breaking profits from NVIDIA likely in recent times because of these new developments. So all in all, this means that NVIDIA is going to be a very impactful company in AI, and their 2024 AI event really contributes to that because it shows that the development and the prowess that they've brought in previous years with AI and the confidence that people have really had in them is really staying true to the potential that they have. So to recap now, first I talked about AI chips and what NVIDIA was as a company, and then went into some of the advances that this 2024 AI event brought. So AI chips really are just computer chips that are specifically made for AI training and development because these computer chips aren't powerful enough. And then the 2024 AI event shows NVIDIA's Blackwell, which is a new AI chip, and also talks about NVIDIA's NVLink switch, which can help different GPUs communicate with each other. So with all of this into consideration, 2024 has been a great start for NVIDIA, and likely in the upcoming months, we'll continue to see that their AI prowess is going to be showing. For anyone that has any questions, make sure to comment them below here or on my LinkedIn post, and I'll be sure to get to them as soon as possible. Also, please leave a comment below if you want me to keep making these news updates, because it's something that I enjoy myself as I continue to research AI technology. I think it's really important that everyone out there knows about this technology, seeing how pertinent and pervasive it's going to become in people's lives in the near future. So with that being said, for everyone watching this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below.